Adama was a vision of beauty. Her steps were graceful, her skin smooth like fresh palm wine, and her smile carried a warmth that could melt even the hardest heart. Every man admired her, yet none ever came forward to speak of love. It was strange in the village. Even the plainest of girls had suitors. Some were betrothed at 15, others married before 20. But Adama, though the most admired, remained alone. Each night she asked herself the same question. Why me? Why does no one see me as a wife? The truth was hidden deep in her household. Her stepmother, Mama Chidera, carried envy sharper than a blade. She had never forgiven Adama's late mother for being the first wife, nor could she bear the thought of Adama's beauty outshining her own daughter. So she did the unthinkable. With secret charms, she bound Adama's destiny. Any man who dared to desire her would suddenly feel fear, confusion, or disgust without knowing why. The villagers only whispered. Some said, "Her beauty is too much for any man to handle." Others claimed, "Perhaps she's cursed." None suspected the truth that her own stepmother had tied her future. The mystery deepened during the village dancing competition. Adama danced with such grace that the crowd clapped and cheered, their voices shaking the night. Yet when the dance ended and the other girls were led away by admirers, Adama stood alone, her heart sinking in the shadows. Mama Nkechi smiled coldly. Her plan was working, but destiny never sleeps. On that very night, as the moonlight touched the village square, a stranger watched Adama closely. His eyes did not turn away. His heart did not tremble with fear. For the first time, someone was untouched by the curse, and his arrival would change everything. The dancing competition was over. The square had grown quiet, save for the faint drums echoing in the distance. Adama sat alone beneath the old udala tree, her heart heavy. Again, she had been admired, applauded, yet left untouched. But in the shadows, someone had not taken his eyes off her. His name was Obinna, a traveler who had come from a distant village in search of trade. And like the men of Adama's village, he knew nothing of her story, nothing of the whispers that followed her. He only saw a girl whose beauty carried both light and sorrow. When he stepped forward, Adama's breath caught. She had never seen a man approach her before, not like this. "Why do you sit alone after such a beautiful dance?" Obinna asked gently. Adama lowered her eyes. "That is my life. Alone, even in a crowd." What neither of them knew was that the charm Mama Nkechi had cast long ago was rooted in the land. It bound the hearts of the men who lived in the village, clouding their minds with fear whenever they thought of Adama as a wife. But Obinna was different. He was an outsider. His spirit was not tied to the soil where the spell had been planted. The curse had no power over him. That day, as they spoke beneath the udala tree, something strange happened. For the first time in Adama's life, a man looked at her not with confusion or hidden fear, but with pure admiration. His eyes held no hesitation, no doubt, only longing, and Adama, though cautious, felt her heart stir in a way it never had before. But danger was already rising. From a distance, Mama Chidera watched them, her lips pressed tightly together. She had noticed it the way Obinna looked at Adama. Her purse had finally met its weakness, and she would not let it go unchallenged. From the moment Obinna met Adama, something stirred within him. He had traveled many lands, seen many faces, yet none touched his heart the way this young woman did. Her beauty was clear, but it was her sadness that drew him closer, like a mystery he longed to solve. For days, he stayed in the village. Each evening, he found his way to Adama, and under the udala tree they would talk. She told him about her late mother, about how the men of the village always admired her but never came forward. She confessed the loneliness that weighed on her like a heavy cloak. Obinna listened with patience, his eyes steady and kind. "Adama," he said one evening, "a flower like you cannot wither here. You were meant to blossom beyond these walls of envy and whispers. Come with me to the city. There, you will be free. There, I will make you my wife." Adama's heart trembled. No man had ever spoken such words to her. But even as hope lit her face, fear gripped her chest. She knew her stepmother too well. Mama Nkechi's smile was never truly a smile, it always hid something. And indeed, Mama Nkechi had already noticed Obina's boldness. The curse that bound the village men did not bind him. She watched from the shadows, her heart burning with rage. This outsider will not take her away from me, she hissed. Grinding her teeth, I tied her destiny with my own hands, and I will not let it slip that night. As the moon rose high, Mama Nkechi entered her small hut. She lit a black candle and poured palm oil into a clay pot, whispering words that crawled like snakes in the air. If he dares to take her, may misfortune strike him. If he dares to love her, may his wisdom fail him. He will not succeed. But Obina was not an ordinary man. He was wise. Yes, but he also carried something greater, of faith. His mother had planted in him since childhood. When the dark winds of the curse brushed against him, his spirit resisted. The battle for Adama's destiny had begun. Would love and wisdom carry her to freedom in the city, or would her stepmother's evil tighten its grip? The village was buzzing. Whispers of Obina's affection for Adama spread quickly. Like fire through dry grass, some women shook their heads in disbelief. So finally, someone has broken through. Others laughed in envy. She is lucky after all these years. But in Mama Nkechi's heart, anger boiled like hot palm oil. She knew her curse was powerless against Obina. If she did nothing, he would surely take Adama away to the city, far from her control. So she changed her face one morning. As Obina came to visit, Mama Chidera met him at the compound gate. Her lips stretched into a smile, her voice unusually soft. My son, she said warmly, you are welcome. You have been good to Adama. I see how you care for her, and I cannot stand in the way of love. Please come in and eat with us. Adama's heart skipped. Never before had her stepmother spoken with such sweetness. Suspicion flickered in her eyes, but Obina, out of respect, entered and greeted her politely. For days, Mama Chidera continued this act. She laughed at his jokes, served him food, and even told neighbors, Obina is like a son to me already. Everyone believed her, everyone, but Adama didn't. At night, behind closed doors, Mama Chidera true's self returned. She ground bitter cola, mixed herbs with ashes, and whispered incantations. If he will not fall by fear, then let him fall by betrayal. If he will not leave her by choice, then let their love destroy itself. Meanwhile, Obina was making plans. He had written to his uncle in the city, arranging for work and a house. Adama, he told her secretly, soon I will return for you. You will no longer live under this shadow. I will take you with me, and we will build a new life. Adama wanted to believe him. She wanted to hold on to hope, but deep inside, she could feel her stepmother's eyes on her, sharp, watchful. Dangerous. The game of masks had begun. Mama Chidera smiled by day and plotted by night, while Adama prayed that Obina's wisdom would keep them safe. But the storm was coming. Mama Chidera could no longer wait. Her jealousy grew into madness. The thought of Adama leaving the village with Obina burned her like fire. So one night, she prepared her deadliest charm. She cooked a pot of yam porridge, lacing it with bitter herbs and ashes of strange roots. Into the steam she whispered, let his tongue burn, let his strength fail, let his love for her turn to ashes. She smiled, certain that Obina would never rise again after tasting her food. The next day she carried the pot to him with a wide smile. My son, she said sweetly, you have worked hard for this family. Eat and be strong. Obina bowed politely, but before he touched the food, he closed his eyes and prayed, Father, bless this meal and remove every hidden evil. The moment he spoke, the air in the compound shifted. The pot cracked with a loud sound, spilling the porridge to the ground. Instead of harming Obina, the curse leapt back at Mama Chidera. Her hands trembled, her body shook violently, and a scream tore from her throat. Neighbors rushed in, shocked to see her on the ground, rolling in pain. What is happening? They cried. But Obina knew the evil she planned has returned to her. He said calmly. Adama, though frightened, felt a strange relief. At last, the truth was no longer hidden. The whole village now saw Mama Chidera for who she truly was. Obina turned to Adama, holding her hands gently. This place has been nothing but pain For you come with me in the city, no curse will bind you again, there we will begin anew. Tears of joy filled Adama's eyes. For the first time she felt free. Free from loneliness, free from fear, free from her stepmother's shadow. And so within days, Obinna took Adama away from the village. As the city lights welcomed them, Adama's heart blossomed. She was no longer the cursed beauty, but a woman chosen, loved, and destined for greater things. The city was everything Adama had never known. Tall buildings touched the sky, lights glowed even at night, and life moved with speed and color. But none of it overwhelmed her, because Obinna was by her side. He kept his promise. He introduced her to his family, who welcomed her warmly. Soon their marriage was celebrated with joy, and Adama's tears of loneliness turned into tears of happiness. Obinna was a wise man, a man of faith, and a man of vision. Within a few years his business grew. He rose to become one of the most respected men in the city, and Adama, she blossomed from the girl who was once mocked as cursed. She now became the wife of a COA woman, admired not just for her beauty, but for her grace and strength. Back in the village things were different. Mama Chidera, once feared, was now despised. Her secret had been exposed the day her charm backfired. Neighbors who once respected her crossed the road. When she passed, children mocked her behind her back, calling her the wicked woman whose evil turned against her. She roamed the village, bitter and broken, while the very child she tried to destroy was living in abundance and joy. And so destiny had spoken. The curse of envy was defeated by the power of love. The girl who was once rejected became honored, and the woman who tried to bury another's light was left in darkness. Adama often remembered her past, but not with sorrow, only with gratitude, for she knew one truth that guided her forever: no evil can bury the destiny God has blessed. Lessons from Adama's story: envy destroys the envious, not the innocent. Mama Chidera tried to destroy Adama's future, but her evil only returned to her. No one can stop a destiny that God has blessed. Adama was delayed but not denied. In the end she rose higher than anyone imagined. Kindness and faith always win over wickedness. Obinna's love, wisdom, and prayers protected him and Adama from every trap. Beauty without peace is sorrow, but love brings true joy. Adama's beauty alone did not save her, but when true love found her, her life changed forever. Evil has no reward. The stepmother who planned harm ended up disgraced, roaming in shame, while the innocent child she hated prospered. Thank you so much for watching and following this story. Remember, envy, wickedness, and jealousy never bring good results. If you are doing such things, stop today, because what is meant for someone will always shine, no matter how long it takes. Stay blessed and subscribe for more powerful stories.